So, a lot of people have been wondering what's going on because I haven't been making these videos in a while. Well, I haven't really had a whole lot to say. I know that's surprising to some of you, but today I am driving this cabin on wheels, this glorious piece of no, it's not glorious at all. Needs some work. Anyways, so I'm driving this motorhome and just picked it up and drove it away from the campground, and everything's fine. Got about a kilometer and two and the thing started to shut down. So we thought there was water in the gas tank because I haven't driven in a while. So we put some octane boost and whatever, and all of a sudden we boosted it up and boom, and away we go. Well, went about another 2 kilometers and died again. And I'm thinking, you know what? Could be the alternator. So we decided to look under the hood and find the alternator. Well, we did find the alternator. The alternator seems to be working fine, I think. We wouldn't know because there's no belt on it. Somebody removed the alternator belt and failed to replace it. So anyways, Will's off getting an alternator belt, and I'm sitting here with Dozer, who is none too impressed, let me tell you. And I'm not too impressed either, because you know what? This thing should be driving. I should be well on my way home in the glorious fashion of an RV driver, but I'm not. I'm sitting on the side of the road and people think I'm camping, which I'm not. I'm just sitting here waiting for an alternator belt. See, the alternator, I think, works. The engine, I think, works. But they're not connected. And because they're not connected, the motor is not charging the battery. And charging the alternator, and because the alternator isn't charging, it's not charging the battery, which isn't charging the engine, which isn't, that circle. I'm not a mechanic, but I know all three need to be working together. Battery, alternator, and motor. See, one of the things that I've come to realize is it's really easy to have all the pieces in place in your life, to put this here and that there and the other thing right where it should be, and still not go anywhere in life. And the reason is because despite the fact that a lot of times we have our church, I don't know, that piece is there, and then we have, we read our Bible and that piece is there, and we have good friends and that piece is there, and we have all these pieces, and we think that that's enough. But at the end of the day, those pieces aren't connected, and that connection, I think, is prayer. One of the things that I've discovered a lot in my life is that I don't necessarily pray as much as I should. I'm not sure if I pray more than most or less. It really doesn't make any difference. At the end of the day, it's my relationship with God, and what am I doing about it? And, as a pastor, I've got my pieces in place. I mean, I've got the pulpit, and I preach the word, and I study to write a message, and that piece is over there. And I have a lot of information in my head, so when I'm talking to people, I can be an encouragement, and that piece is there. All those things can be working, but after a while, I lose power, I lose my energy, I lose my drive. And generally speaking, that's because I'm not focusing on being connected with God. The Bible talks about He is the vine and we are the branches. If we remain in Him and He in us, we will bear much fruit. And see, that's where our source comes from. That's where our power comes from. That's where our connectedness comes from through prayer and staying in tune with God. And prayer isn't necessarily telling God something He doesn't know, or asking for something that God doesn't know we need. What prayer is God, I'm just talking to you. It's like, this is where I'm at. You ever sit and have a conversation with somebody and you're telling old stories and everybody knows a story, but it's just good in the telling because you're being connected with each other? Well, that's what God wants from us. God wants us to be connected, because if we are not, we're going to get down the road, and next thing you know, doghouse is off, and we're realizing we need some belts. So, hope that's been encouragement to you. God bless you.